Well, hello there. So, what if I could tell you that you could have multiple transit points in KOTOR and pick which one of them you want to return to? Well, I would tell you that that's actually impossible, kinda. But you can do something sorta like that as long as the transit locations are in autosaves and the place you're returning to the hideout or Ebonhawk from is also a module that autosaves. In which case, yes, you can have multiple transit points. So I'm going to demonstrate this right now. So here we go, we're just going to go through the Upper City South. And let's say, for whatever reason, it's really important to me that I want to have a transit point right here by these metal cylinders. So we'll return to the hideout and transit back. And so now there is a transit point there. There's a little waypoint where my feet were, and we can return to that waypoint if we want. We have saved that location because this is a module that autosaves whenever you enter it. And now we're going to head over to a different module that also autosaves whenever we enter it. That is the Upper City North. Um, and we're going to also leave somewhere in here. So let's say, all right, I want to go back to my transit points over in the Upper City South, but I also want to leave a transit point over here by these swoops. So what I can do is I can return to the hideout. And so now I don't actually have to transit back at this moment, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it just to kind of demonstrate. So you see, we transit back. We have a transit point here now. So generally speaking, you wouldn't be able to get back to that old transit point, but I'll show you how we can. So first thing you want to do is you want to save your game, and you're going to load somewhere that has an autosave leading to the module whose transit point you want to warp to. So we want to warp to the one in the Upper City South. So we'll enter the Upper City South, we get the autosave, and that's all we need. We can load back up our quick save again. Easy peasy. So now that we're here and we have an autosave that is going to the Upper City South, we can just return to the hideout, A and G while we're returning, pop up replace transit back, and then you're going to do OK and load game at the same time. So, you see, we are back in the Upper City North, but our autosave says Upper City South. And if we load it, like magic, we are in our old transit point that we created. And you can do this for as many modules that have autosaves as you want. Because you can just store as many transit points as you'd like. And so this is another new way of storing a location to return to later. I haven't quite thought of any applications yet, but then again, I haven't been thinking very hard. You know, my brain's a little fried. But so yeah, here's a way to store transit points. And also, just to prove that our Upper City North transit point isn't lost, if we were to somehow get back to the apartments like we usually would for a transit point, transiting back will still return us to the Upper City North. Just like that. Fancy, right? And of course, also, if we were to do a return, we could do something similar where returning to the hideout from the Upper City South to, and still return to our transit point here in the Upper City North. And so, yeah, and you can only have one transit point per module, unfortunately. You can't have multiple. That'd be really cool. But you can have, yeah, you can basically store in one location per module with an autosave in it. And yeah, warp to any of them. So yeah, not to mention these are also autosave hotshots. So the place you're going to, well, the thing is, the place you're going to, it does need to exist in memory because if it doesn't exist in memory, then the waypoint that stores the transit location won't be there. So that's not going to work. But as long as they are still around, we can have a new way of storing locations. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching.